1, 2, 3. See ya.
This is the GoPro Hero 8 Black, and yes, it's really good. After the Hero 7 Black introduced hyper-smooth stabilization, I wasn't really sure where GoPro could evolve from there. But thanks to a very smart rethinking of the physical design, as well as some improvements across the board, the Hero 8 stands a good margin above the Hero 7, and it's probably the best action camera you can buy right now. While the Hero 8 looks largely the same, it hides one key improvement underneath, and that is the built-in mount. So that's right, you can now ditch the mounting frame entirely. Now this has caused it to grow a little bit in size compared to a naked Hero 7, but it is actually smaller than a Hero 7 in the frame. And since GoPros are 99% of the time going to be used mounted to something, you do get a small but noticeable size advantage with the new Hero 8 because of that integrated mount. But more importantly, you can now swap a battery or a card at any time, even if the camera is mounted to something. The lens also protrudes a little bit less from the body, so it is slimmer overall. And despite that, the glass is now actually twice as strong, according to GoPro. But it's no longer removable. So if you want to add a filter like a neutral density or a polarizer or a diving filter, you are going to need a different frame or other solution for that. The Hero 8 Black isn't a totally new design like the Hero 5 was compared to the Hero 4. It still looks very much like a Hero 7. But from a usability perspective, it offers the biggest improvements since the integrated touchscreen. On that note, the Hero 8's touchscreen is the same. It's nothing new. I would have preferred a wider 16:9 screen like we've seen on the DJI Osmo Action, but I guess we'll just have to wait for the Hero 9 for that. On the inside, you'll find the same custom GP1 processor that's been around since the Hero 6, but GoPro continues to find ways to push it further. That means even better electronic stabilization without changing the 10% crop. It's now called Hypersmooth 2.0, and it works across all frame rates and resolutions, but there's also a new boost mode that makes the stabilization even better, but it does come with an additional crop. And on top of that, there is automatic horizon leveling, just like you might find in a 360 camera. This doesn't happen in the camera itself, but rather is an option within the editing settings of the mobile app. Now, unlike a 360 camera, this will crop your footage depending on how crooked it is. But for a lot of shots, it makes a real improvement. GoPro's hyperlapse mode, called TimeWarp, has also evolved into version 2.0, and it's now both more fun and easier to use than ever before. So it can now set the speed automatically based on the amount of camera movement, which is great. You can still set it manually if you prefer, but if you want to just go create a quick hyperlapse and know you're going to get good results, just leave it on auto. It works really well. Additionally, you can now slow the hyperlapse down to real time at any point just by tapping an on-screen button while you're recording. But one of the coolest features of the Hero 8 Black is not really something about the camera at all, but about this new line of accessories coming out that GoPro is calling mods. So this is going to be a way to add everything from microphones to lights to even a selfie screen onto the Hero 8 Black. Now, unfortunately, none of these mods were available for testing by the time of this review, but there is one I'm really looking forward to. It's called the Media mod, and this adds an integrated shotgun microphone as well as 2 cold shoes for attaching other accessories, a 3.5mm microphone input, and both USB-C and HDMI outputs. So it's going to be a great tool for vloggers and other people who are using GoPros to tell stories that maybe aren't your traditional action camera extreme sports stories. And that's actually something GoPro reiterated often at the Hero 8 press event. They want to make it clear that this is not just an action camera, it's more than that. And I would say that more than any other GoPro before, the Hero 8 Black has done a good job of appealing to those types of creators beyond the extreme athletes. So the mods are obviously a big component of that, but even without them, the Hero8 Black is a pretty solid vlogging camera. And that's not just due to the new stabilization, which helps for those walk and talk shots, but also because of this new microphone located on the front right beneath the lens. The audio quality is really good and it picks up dialogue very well, even in some tricky situations. So this should be a good test of the Hero8 Black's new audio capabilities thanks to this new microphone on the front. And hopefully you can hear me right now. There's a very loud waterfall behind me. I'm not talking in a particularly loud voice. I'm just sort of using my normal voice. I have no idea what this is going to sound like. Hopefully it sounds great. I don't know. We'll take a listen and find out. But this is me talking into the Hero8 Black's new microphone with a very loud sound behind me. So there you go. So you can disagree with me in the comments, but after having a chance to listen to that, I'm pretty impressed with how it came out. That was a very loud environment, and it actually doesn't sound like it was all that bad listening to the clip. So with no external microphone facing into the source of the noise, that was pretty good. I'm impressed. So good job on the audio, GoPro. Of course, you can have the great audio and the great video and the stabilization, but if you don't have a way to handle all the footage, you're not going to have a great experience. Fortunately, this is somewhere where GoPro has excelled for a while, and they're just continuing to get better at it. So the new version of the mobile app now incorporates quick stories, so you no longer need a separate app for that. And once the mods roll out, assuming they live up to expectations, you're going to have an ecosystem that is much more mature and complete than really what we've seen from an action camera before. And that's really what makes this Hero8 Black so good. It's not just that it's more than an action camera, it's also more than a camera. Hey, thanks for watching this video. For more on the Hero8 Black, you can find our full review up now on digitaltrends.com. And be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos from Digital Trends.